everybody, welcome back. You're watching Addicted to Gear. My name is Tony. I'm definitely addicted. If you guys have been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that what I basically do here is review gear. Anything from amplifiers, guitars, pedals, anything remotely related to guitars and music is what I normally like to review and I present here for you. So, over the years, I've done a number of these videos and I reviewed a number of guitars, a lot of them that I have in my collection right here. And one question comes up over and over again, and that is, Tony, what is your favorite guitar? And I don't think I've ever answered that question head on because I've often just deflected that question because honestly, it's not an easy question for me to answer, and I'll explain why. Over the years, I've accumulated quite a nice collection of guitars, and normally people would hang on to them, but I don't. My collection is always in flux. There's always new guitars coming in and then older guitars being sold off to make room for something else. I don't just hoard, I just try to keep the ones that I like the most. So being able to answer that question is not as straightforward as most people think. And so today in this video, I'm going to present my top 3 guitars that I feel are the ones that I would probably sell last. So I'm not necessarily calling them my favorite. I'm just telling you that if I had to sell off everything, these are probably the guitars that I would hang on to till the end. And the reason why it's so hard to make a decision is quite simple, actually, because when you have the ability to try out a lot of guitars, what you normally would think of as your top 3 sometimes change. A new guitar comes in and all of a sudden it knocks one of those top 3 off its throne and you're dealing with a new favorite guitar. So without further ado, let me show you my top 3, and these are not in order of preference. So I'm not really going to tell you which one is my favorite, but I'm going to tell you these are 3 of my top guitars. All right, let's get started. All right, so this guitar obviously seems very familiar, a typical Les Paul style guitar, but it's actually not a Gibson. It's a Tokai. It's a Tokai guitar that I've had for numerous years. And although I do own a couple of Les Pauls and real ones as well. Well, real, what I mean is, the Gibson ones. But I would probably sell this guitar last over the other ones that I have, just because it's a fantastic playing guitar. It's a fantastic sounding guitar, and I love it. It's been in my collection now for so many years, and it's not a looker in the sense where I do have other Gibsons that have beautiful flame on them and, visually might look more appealing. But in terms of playability, sound, and mojo, I think this one really is a step above. And so, it's not necessarily, I'm not necessarily picking the most expensive guitars in my collection either, because this guitar is not nearly as expensive as the Gibsons, especially when I bought this guitar. I bought this guitar, I think I paid $600 for it when I bought it. And if you look at the Gibsons that they're selling nowadays, they're close to $3,500, and that's Canadian. And this has all of the features that I love, that I've come to love about a Gibson and a Les Paul. And it just is amazing. Very great guitar. So I did change the pickups on this guitar, and that shouldn't come as a surprise. If you guys know me, you know that I love to change pickups. So these were changed out. And to make it easier for you to understand more about this guitar, I'll post a link above where I did the full review, and I also played this guitar for you guys. I'll list it up above so you can watch that entire video if you like. The pickups that came with this guitar were 2 different pickups, but one of them, the bridge pickup, was a pickup made by High Order Pickups, and I loved the sound of that pickup so much that I decided to pull out the other pickup, contact the gentleman at High Order and ask him to make me another, let's say, brother pickup for this guitar. So I have a match set, and beautiful nickel tops on the pickups as well. And he did that for me, and it just works perfectly well. And this is the one that I would keep in my collection in terms of a Les Paul style guitar. Let's move on. Now, no guitar collection would be complete without a Telecaster. I'm a big Telecaster fan, and this is my number one Telecaster in my collection. And the funny thing about this one is that it is not an original. It's actually a guitar that I put together from parts. Now, all the parts on this guitar are Fender parts, but it is technically considered a parts caster that I built. And I don't know what it is about this guitar. It just plays so well. The neck feels great, and it isn't anything crazy. I don't have any fancy push-pull features or anything like that. It's pretty much a straight-ahead Telecaster with a rosewood neck, and I do love rosewood. I only put in a couple of things that I felt were little mods that I like. I put in a Wilkinson, well, actually this is not a Wilkinson bridge. It's a bridge that I purchased that has the ends kind of rounded off, so it's easier to palm mute and it feels a little bit more comfortable. I'm definitely a sucker for the brass compensated saddles, so I have that in here as well. And I just put in a set of locking tuners just to be able to, have the tuning stability that I wanted. Now, I tinted the neck to give it a little bit of a vintage vibe to the guitar. And I feel that, that and the color of the body and the color of the pickguard and everything just has that mojo that I love so much. But it just sounds great, plays great. And I don't know if I have a video of this particular Telecaster review. If I do have it, I'll post it up above. The neck on this guitar is not a vintage radius. It's, I believe, a 9.5, which is extremely comfortable. The neck is not really bulky, medium C, just plays really, really well. And I'm so glad I put this guitar together. It's actually, it actually saved me money because I got exactly what I was looking for. So it's kind of like a Tony custom shop, so to speak, at a much more reasonable price point. So Telecaster, number 2. All right, last but not least, this guitar is perhaps one of the guitars that I've had in my collection the longest. All right, last but not least, this guitar is perhaps one of the guitars that is one of the older guitars in my collection. I've purchased this guitar a long time ago, and it hasn't budged since I bought it. I didn't even think about selling it because this guitar definitely is a keeper. This is a PRS USA 245 single cut, and it's wonderful. I love single cut guitars. I don't know what it is, but this guitar is almost like a classier Les Paul with its shape and simplicity too. Wraparound bridge and original pickups. You guys might laugh, but I never actually changed the pickups in this guitar yet. I'll just add the yet part. Never say never. So the guitar has a beautiful body, beautiful contour, nice flame to it. Now, I purchased this guitar sight unseen. I guess I was crazier in my youth, and I saw this one on eBay. I bought it. It's got a 10 top, and very, very beautiful guitar. But I didn't know how it would play when I purchased it, so I took a chance, bought it, and it was meant to be. This guitar just plays like butter. The neck on this guitar is probably the most comfortable neck that I've played. It's not thin, it's not chunky, it's right in the middle, perfect for my hands. And I think that's what really makes this guitar so special for me. It is the neck. Everything else is pretty much straightforward, 2 volumes, 2 tones. The pickups are vintagey sounding. And beyond that, there's nothing crazy about this guitar. It's just a beautiful finished piece of of art, in my opinion. I love the quality of the woods. The more modern guitars that they're putting out today have, I guess, more flashy flame on them. At the time when I purchased this one, it was rather subdued. It's more of a kind of a vintagey type of flame on this guitar, but I love it. And as it gets older, it just ages so well. It has the really nice contour on the heel here as well. One-piece neck, you know, set neck. And it's just everything that I wanted in a PRS. And, you know, this is the only USA made PRS in my collection. I only have this and another PRS, but that one is a Korean made one. So we'll talk about that in another video perhaps. And this also, I think I did a review on. It might be old, but if I can find the link, I'll put it up above. So if you're interested in seeing the rest of my collection, definitely go through the archive. You will see a lot of my guitars in there as well. And if you want to, you know, if you're interested and you want to see the rest of my collection, I'll be more than happy to show you the rest of the guitars. Just leave your comments down below. Just say, Tony, we want to see the rest of your collection, and perhaps I'll put together a bunch of short, maybe 3 or 4 guitar video reviews or just overviews until we get to the end of the collection. The collection is pretty vast. I don't think I'd be able to do it all in one video. You probably would get bored halfway through. But if you're interested, I can definitely put something like that together. So I hope this video answered your question as to what my favorite guitars are in my collection. If you have any questions regarding these guitars specifically, definitely shoot me a message, or, you know, just leave a comment down below and I'll be happy to answer your questions. If you have any other questions regarding anything else that you've seen on my channel, don't hesitate. I'm always happy to answer your questions. But most importantly, if you want to support our channel because you like what we're presenting here today, please take a moment, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And also please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share with your friends, let them know about this channel, and we can help this channel grow. That's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this very brief episode of Addicted to Gear, and I'm hoping that you'll stick around for the follow-up videos because there's going to be more great stuff coming your way. In the meantime, guys, stay tuned and keep rocking. See you soon.